So I'm very excited about our class tomorrow's. Some things you might want to look at. Probably one of the more important things that we'll look at is that John seems to be filling in material that happened before John was thrown into prison. You see here the imprisonment of John. Um, uh, if we put trying to find uh, where it is. John is thrown into prison very early in the Synoptics, and then it talks about the imprisonment of John. But John's gospel is going to tell us all kinds of things that happened before this event, and so if John is filling in the gaps, it's going to be important for us to look at that, because clearly this is happening before John is thrown into prison. So we'll talk about that and what that means for how we read the Gospels. We have another occasion to be able to talk about the genealogy of Jesus and what Luke is doing and what Matthew is doing. We have an opportunity to talk about the temptation, and the key issue there will be, is Matthew intending for us to connect this with the three temptations that Israel had in the wilderness? Certainly Matthew's account seems to favor us doing that. Here we have the call of Jesus' first disciples, and what's interesting is that this call happens after John was thrown in prison, but John is giving us material, a call before this formal call. And so if John is writing to fill in the gaps, we have an interesting kind of, this is the rest of this story, if you will. And so we'll talk about that. You see we have the marriage at Canaan. Very interesting that John seems to be outlining 6 or 7 days when you go with the previous account, and then this marriage makes us wonder exactly how to put these together. And notice that Jesus' disciples are also invited to this marriage, perhaps implying that they're all coming from a very familiar group. Notice we have only material that is in John, no parallel account in the Synoptics. We have the cleansing of the temple, and notice that the Synoptics are telling us about a cleansing at the temple that happened very late, but here in our synopsis we're told that same miracle happens early. So is this a case of Jesus doing miracle 2 different times, and John saying, hey, this is the other version? We do have a ministry in Jerusalem. Notice there are no parallels for that in the Synoptics. We have Jesus' discourse with Nicodemus. Again, no parallels in the gospel, and we'll probably get to talk a little bit about Ezekiel 36 as a background there. And then we will end our discussion with John's ministry in Judea. So we're reading from 15 to 28 in the synopsis tomorrow. Come with your questions, and we're going to have a great discussion together. And I look forward to talking to you then. All the best.